Place. Judge Judy versus the mayor's wife. Full 30-minute YouTube script. High-retention cinematic courtroom drama style. Intro. Hook. Judge Judy had seen liars before. Place. She had seen scammers, bullies, corrupt politicians, fake victims, and people so entitled they thought money could rewrite reality itself. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared her for Victoria Hartwell, because on this particular afternoon, place, a woman walked into the courtroom believing she was untouchable. And 8 minutes later, her entire empire collapsed on national television. Her husband's political career ended. The FBI launched emergency raids. And America witnessed the most brutal courtroom destruction in daytime TV history. This wasn't just a lawsuit over unpaid catering bills. This was a public execution of corruption, and Judge Judy was holding the knife. Opening courtroom, seen the courtroom doors swung open slowly, every head turned. Victoria Hartwell entered like she was arriving at a red carpet event instead of a legal hearing. Her $15,000 Chanel suit looked freshly tailored. Diamond earrings sparkled under the courtroom lights. A crocodile skin Hermes Birkin bag swung casually from her wrist. Everything about her screamed wealth, power, privilege, and complete contempt for everyone around her. She didn't even look at the audience, didn't acknowledge the bailiff, didn't glance toward the plaintiff's table, because people like Victoria Hartwell didn't see ordinary people. They saw servants. Obstacles, barracle noise. Behind her walked two expensive attorneys carrying stacks of documents like royal assistants following a queen. Victoria slowly removed her sunglasses, looked around the courtroom, and smirked, like the entire process was beneath her. Like this was just another inconvenience she planned to crush with money and influence. But Judge Judy noticed something immediately. It wasn't confidence. It was arrogance, the dangerous kind. The kind that only exists when a person has escaped consequences their entire life. And Judge Judy hated arrogant people more than almost anything. Maria Chen introduction. At the opposite table sat Maria Chen, 52 years old. Hands trembling, eyes exhausted, a woman who looked like she hadn't slept properly in months. Unlike Victoria's polished luxury, Maria wore a simple navy blouse and carried a worn-out folder stuffed with receipts, invoices, contracts, and handwritten notes. Her entire future sat inside that folder. Maria wasn't rich. She wasn't politically connected. She didn't have lawyers. She had debt, fear, and one final chance to save her business. For 15 years, Maria had worked herself nearly to death building Chen's Catering. She came to America in 1998 with almost nothing. No connections, no money, barely any English. She worked double shifts at a hospital cafeteria during the day, cleaned office buildings at night, and studied English from library books after midnight. For 10 years, she saved every dollar she could. No vacations, no luxuries, no rest. Only sacrifice, until finally she opened her tiny catering company, and slowly, very slowly, she built a reputation, wedding by wedding, birthday by birthday, corporate event by corporate event. People loved her food, loved her work ethic, loved her honesty. And then Victoria Hartwell called. The offer. Maria remembered the phone call perfectly. Victoria's voice sounded warm, friendly, supportive. She said she wanted to support immigrant-owned businesses. Said the mayor's fundraising gala would change Maria's life. 200 wealthy guests, business leaders, politicians, investors. Do a good job, Victoria had told her, and you'll become the most sought-after caterer in the city. Maria believed her. Why wouldn't she? This was the mayor's wife, a respected public figure, a woman constantly appearing on charity magazines and local news interviews talking about community values. The contract was worth $4,800. To Victoria, that amount meant nothing. To Maria, it meant survival. She poured everything into that event, worked 72 straight hours, rented expensive equipment she couldn't afford, bought premium ingredients, hired extra workers. She wanted perfection. And the event was perfect. Guests loved the food. People lined up for seconds. The mayor personally complimented her dumplings. 3 city council members asked for her business card. Maria drove home that night, crying tears of joy. She thought her life had finally changed. Then the calls stopped being answered. That real at first, Victoria blamed accounting delays. Then she claimed the food arrived late. Then she said the presentation looked cheap. Then she accused Maria of violating health standards. None of it was true. Maria begged politely for payment. Weeks passed. Bills piled up. Suppliers demanded money. Loan payments became overdue. Then Maria visited Victoria personally. place. And what happened next destroyed her. Victoria laughed in her face. Not nervous laughter, cruel laughter, the kind designed to humiliate. Then she said the words Maria would never forget. Go ahead and sue me. Maria froze. Victoria leaned closer. Place. My husband owns this city. Then came the final blow. You'll spend more on lawyers than you'll ever collect from me. Corruption revealed, and terrifyingly, Victoria was right. Maria filed lawsuits. Judges mysteriously recused themselves. Place. Court dates disappeared. Paperwork stalled. Nobody wanted to challenge the mayor's family. Maria realized something horrifying. The system was protecting Victoria. That's when she applied to Judge Judy's arbitration court, a last resort. Place. A miracle shot, and somehow Victoria agreed because she thought television court would be easy. She thought Judge Judy was just entertainment. She had no idea Judge Judy spent the previous night reviewing sealed FBI documents. Place. Because this case wasn't just about unpaid catering anymore. It was about corruption, extortion, fraud, and a criminal network worth millions. Judge Judy entered the courtroom quietly. But the energy changed instantly. Place. The audience straightened in their seats. Even the bailiff looked tense, because Judge Judy already knew things nobody else knew. In front of her sat a thick manila folder. Inside it, FBI reports, financial investigations, whistleblower testimony. Place. Evidence connecting Victoria Hartwell to shell companies, fraudulent city contracts, and the destruction of at least 23 small businesses. Judge Judy looked calm, but underneath that calm, a storm was building. Place. And Victoria Hartwell was about to walk directly into it. Court begins, Miss Chen. Judge Judy began. You're suing for unpaid services? Yes, Your Honor. Maria's voice cracked. Judge Judy nodded, then turned toward Victoria. Place. And you claim the services were unacceptable. Victoria crossed her legs confidently. Absolutely. Her tone dripped with superiority. The food was late. The presentation was embarrassing. Frankly, I was generous not reporting her. Place. Maria looked devastated. Judge Judy watched carefully. Do you have evidence? She asked. Victoria shrugged casually. My word should be enough. The courtroom shifted uncomfortably. Judge Judy stared at her. Not in this courtroom. Place. A tiny flicker crossed Victoria's face, the first crack, but she recovered quickly. Your Honor, she said slowly. People in our social position deal with certain standards you may not fully understand. The audience gasped softly. Place. Even her lawyer looked nervous, because everyone understood what she really meant. She was talking down to Judge Judy, and that was a fatal mistake. Maria presented receipts, photos, witness statements, signed contracts. Place. Every document perfectly organized. She explained how she arrived 2 hours early, stayed 3 hours late, would hold every request personally. Then her voice broke completely. That money was everything, she whispered. Place. If I lose this, I lose my business. Victoria rolled her eyes dramatically, actually rolled her eyes. The audience murmured angrily. Judge Judy noticed. Oh, I saw that, she said coldly. Victoria smiled smugly. Your Honor. Place. Emotional stories don't change facts. Judge Judy leaned back slowly. No, she replied. But arrogance reveals character. The courtroom fell silent. The 23 victims. Judge Judy opened the manila folder. Mrs. Hartwell, she said calmly. Place. How many vendors have accused you of refusing payment? Victoria blinked. I have no idea. Judge Judy lifted a paper. 23. Silence. Victoria's smile faded slightly. These are just bitter people, she snapped. Place. People who couldn't meet professional standards. Judge Judy nodded slowly. Interesting. Then she began reading names. A florist, a bakery, a construction company, a landscaper. Every single one told the same story. Hired by Victoria. Place. Denied payment, then suddenly targeted by city inspectors afterward. Victoria shifted in her seat. The confidence was starting to crack. Victoria goes too far then. Victoria made the mistake that ended everything. Place. She looked directly at Maria and sneered. People like her come to this country expecting rewards for mediocrity. The audience exploded. Gasps, angry whispers. One woman in the back shouted, "Oh my God!" Maria burst into tears. Place. Judge Judy's expression turned to stone. People like her? Judge Judy repeated quietly. Victoria realized too late what she had done, but instead of backing down, she doubled down. Your Honor, let's be realistic. Place. Running high society events requires sophistication. Judge Judy stared at her for several seconds, dead silence. Then came the voice, the dangerous Judge Judy voice, low, sharp, ice cold. Mrs. Hartwell, she said, Place. I think it's time we discuss your sophistication. The FBI files Judge Judy stood up. Rare, very rare. The audience instantly knew something massive was coming. She lifted the first document. This, she announced, place, is an FBI financial report. Victoria went pale instantly. Her lawyer whispered something urgently. Too late, Judge Judy continued. 14 shell companies connected to you received over $3.2 million in city contracts. Place. The courtroom exploded. Victoria's mouth opened slightly. No sound came out. Judge Judy kept going. No employees, no offices, no legitimate services performed. She held up another paper. That's called fraud. Another document. Place. And these companies started receiving contracts immediately after your husband became mayor. Victoria's breathing became uneven. Her confidence evaporated live on television. The total collapse. Judge Judy wasn't finished. Place. Now let's discuss your claim about family wealth. Victoria froze because suddenly she knew. Judge Judy knew everything. I spoke with your uncle, Judge Judy continued. Federal Judge Robert Payton III. Victoria looked physically ill. Place. Judge Judy's voice cut like a knife. He confirmed your family disowned you after you stole $80,000 from your grandmother through forged checks. The audience erupted louder than ever before. One man actually stood up in shock. Place. Victoria collapsed backward into her chair, crying, hyperventilating, died. But Judge Judy delivered the final execution blow. She held up Maria's contract. Handwriting analysis confirms this signature is yours, with 99.7% certainty. Place. Then Judge Judy leaned forward. You accused an innocent woman of forgery while committing perjury yourself. Victoria started sobbing uncontrollably. The legendary takedown, and then Judge Judy unleashed. Place. You walked into my courtroom, believing power made you untouchable. You mocked immigrants. You weaponized government against working people. You destroyed families because you thought money protected you from consequences. Place. Judge Judy pointed directly at her. But real power is accountability. Real power is truth. And today, truth won. The audience erupted into applause. Even the bailiff struggled not to react. Victoria buried her face in her hands. Place. Her mascara streamed down her cheeks. The elegant socialite image was gone forever. Now she just looked terrified. Human broken. The verdict. Judge Judy slammed the gavel. You will pay Maria Chen $4,800 immediately. An additional $15. Place. Zero for defamation and business damages, and $10,000 punitive damages for abusing this court. Total judgment, $29,800. Victoria whispered weakly, I can't pay that. Judge Judy fired back instantly. Sell a handbag. The courtroom exploded again. Place. So final discussion, but Judge Judy still wasn't done. I am formally referring this case to the FBI Public Corruption Division, and I'm referring your testimony for potential perjury charges. Place. Victoria's lawyer looked like he wanted to disappear into the floor. Judge Judy leaned forward one final time. You should have thought about your children before you became a criminal. Victoria broke completely, sobbing, shaking, unable to speak. Place. Judge Judy delivered the final line slowly. Get out of my courtroom. Gavel slam. Case closed. Aftermath. The clip exploded online. 47 million views in 24 hours. Hot corrupt mayor's wife trended worldwide. Place. The FBI raided the Hartwell mansion 2 days later. Mayor Richard Hartwell resigned immediately. 14 city officials were investigated. 22 additional victims came forward. Victoria Hartwell became the face of elite corruption in America. Place. Meanwhile, Maria Chen became a national hero. Her business exploded with support. Thousands of customers flooded her restaurant. 6 months later, she opened a second location, and for the first time in years, she finally slept peacefully. Place. Because justice had finally arrived, and it arrived wearing a black robe with Judge Judy's name on it. Outer CTA, if you enjoyed this courtroom takedown, place. Subscribe now for more unbelievable justice stories where corrupt elites finally face consequences. Comment below, do you think Victoria deserved prison time? Place. And remember, no matter how rich, powerful, or connected someone becomes, nobody is above the law.